I want to get on to our final topic for tonight. Obviously, this has been a big week for Prince Philip. Not Prince Philip, Prince Andrew. Fuck. Uh, and it's definitely not been a big week for Prince Philip. Been quite a quiet one. So what do you think is the next step for Prince Andrew? Because well, actually, I'll take yours first, and then I'll expand on mine if you like. So, where do you think he goes from here?
To be honest with you, I'm not 100% au fait on this kind of thing. And I think Tish Talking is amazing at examining this kind of thing. Love all of the stuff that she puts out, and she's very eloquent at picking the royal family apart in a way that is delicious. But when it comes to Prince Andrew, the frustration that I feel just mounts every single day. Like, I don't understand on a fundamental level how someone that is being accused of these things has the level of freedom that he does. He was interviewed on TV when his dad died. Like, I understand that your dad's just died. You are accused of being a paedophile. So, like, in the nicest way I can say this, sorry, your dad's dead, but you're a fucking accused paedophile. So I don't really care how you feel.
Yeah.
When it comes to it, I think I would assume if he ends up with serious worries that a conviction may come of being sued, or like that something serious may come of being sued, he'll flounce his way off to a non-extradition country on a aid mission that I'm sure the firm will arrange, and we'll never hear from him again because the British press will just conveniently forget that he exists until the Queen dies.
Yeah, I don't think you're a million miles off, actually. I think if it starts to look like he can't wriggle his way out of it and he's looking liable and she doesn't get offed in some weird way, which I think that would be too obvious. I think it's probably occurred to them to just fucking car crash her, or like, I'm not sure what the methods of assassination are like these days, but I'm sure they have. Somebody somewhere's discussed it, haven't they? But it would be so obvious. So let's assume that assassination is not on the cards and he does start to panic. I think you're right. I think there'll be some sort of some country out there with a non-extradition situation with the UK and the US. And here's something that I thought might be interesting. So he lives in England. We've just left the EU. So how fucking weird would it be if he just went, I'm going to move to Greece, and now there's no longer any extradition there between the UK and the EU. I might be talking shit about that, but I think I remember reading something that we've exited the, where you have to drag a suspect across Europe, Europol or whatever it is.
Interpol. There's still the data sharing agreements and stuff. I'm told there's still the data sharing agreements in place, but I don't think there is. One of the things I do at work all the time is run DBSs, and literally, since the formalisation, the solemnisation of Brexit on the 1st of January, DBSs have become a twat. You never know when they're going to disclose. They're incredibly unreliable. The second there is an EU address on there, you just don't know when it's going to come back. So I don't know about data sharing. Now, getting Greek citizenship is fucking easy if you're rich. You spend 250,000 euros on buying a piece of property over there, you're a citizen. You get a passport. And I only know this because I've been studying Greek for a very long time, and I would love to be a Greek citizen. If there's any attractive Greek men out there, I'm single AF, I'm just saying. But it's a simple matter. And with the breakdown of any kind of real relations that we have with the EU, especially with an ongoing prime minister that's as useful as this fucking crystal, I suspect that would probably be the easiest route for him. And if anyone wanted an ostensible reason, we need to build relations back, so we're sending a royal out there. Interesting. So I fully could see that happening.
Yeah. I don't think he'll even be allowed. Let's assume that doesn't happen and he's just sued. I can't imagine a situation where they allow a prince of the royal family to go bankrupt. She's suing him for 15 million, I think. And I don't think he's worth everyone talks about the royals as though they're worth a billion or 2 billion. They're not actually worth that much. I think the Queen has close to 1 billion in assets and stuff. But in terms of and she has a sovereign grant once a year. And I think portions of that are then apportioned to each member of the royal family. But in terms of his actual net worth, let's have a quick Google. It's a little bit crude to be Googling while I'm doing this, but let's have a look.
It's fine. It's fine. You need to do research on the. I'll be halfway through TikTok and I'll be like, shit, was that how much it was?
And my very brief foray into internet research there suggested that his net worth is about 40. I think it was 40 million. So
Yeah.
if he's sued for 15 million, I suppose that gets him. I mean, that's a chunk, but he's still, he'll be living well after that, right?
Yeah. I think the problem is as well, and it's something that really frustrates me. And try to have this conversation with something as simple as speeding fines. When you're worth 45 million, 15 million's shit all. It's a lot. You can still live off of everything you have left, and you don't just sit with the remainder, do you? You keep making money. He's like, his mother is the queen who owns the most property in the entire country, possibly world. So, no, the church owns the most property. He will be comfortable no matter what. And so, what material good comes of punishing someone monetarily? He needs to feel. This is the problem with the punitive system. People need to be made to feel it in a real way, and it's why I can't remember which country it is, but there's a country that does proportional fines for speeding, which I think is a brilliant idea. If you get caught speeding and you earn 20 grand, you 2% of that as a fine. If you earn 200 grand, you get 2% of that as a fine. You fucking feel that.
Yeah, I agree with the ethics of it. Although I fucking love speeding, Davey, so I'm not going to totally throw my support behind it. But I had an idea of the direction that I thought he might go in, which is, so he goes away to a different country, but he goes away to a different country in the same vein as shamed pop stars who've been convicted of sort of similar things do, right? So after Michael Jackson wasn't convicted, he was acquitted, but immediately after that trial ended, he flew away to fucking, where was it? Somewhere in the Middle East, and he lived in this guy's like mansion or something. And I thought, like, that's the sort of existence I could imagine for Prince Andrew, is like fucking off and living in opulence, but being a guest of somebody who's sort of quite wealthy, like a sheikh or something. And then the other option I thought was Gary Glitter. Like, when he flew away, he just like packed up his shit and then moved away, I think to Malaysia, was it, or Thailand?
Thailand, I think.
And now Prince Andrew will be the new Gary Glitter, basically. He'll just fuck off, like pack up his money, go away to Thailand, and it'll be this sort of standing joke, like whenever you go over to Thailand with your friends and stuff, they'll be like, you gonna check in on Andy? And then there'll be endless jokes about how much or how little he sweats in the Thai climate. And
yeah, to be fair, I can probably see something like that. And the irony is, the media will let it happen.
Yeah. Well, they won't. There'll be some. We'll be lucky if it even gets reported. There'll be a sort of media blackout about it, where they'll say, it's not. He doesn't have personal security because he's been removed from the upper circle of the royal family or whatever, and so we don't necessarily want to publicise that he's gone out there. So we'd rather just keep. And then he'll just sort of fade from public view. Like the news cycle moves so quickly now that at this moment in this week, the big news is that Prince Andrew is being sued for sexual assault. Next week, some footballer will cheat on his wife, or there'll be an earthquake somewhere, or Afghanistan will collapse into chaos, or so it won't take an awful long period of time for him to kind of disappear. It will just be people like me and you and a few others on Twitter that whenever Meghan Markle gets sort of ragged on a bit, will raise where's Prince Andrew though?
Oh no, Meghan Markle wore a dress that's an offensive colour.
She didn't.